Welcome back to video number 2. The royal family has been busy, but this is going to be a much shorter video, but let's jump in and cover it all, shall we? Let's go. The lady you're looking at is Lady Frederick Windsor. She's the daughter-in-law of Prince and Princess Michael of Kent, and she gave an interview to Hello magazine about her work with the Big Issue. They just launched their big community initiative, and I'm happy to see another member of the royal family helping out with the homelessness issue. Very nice. Let's move on. Next up, we have the Duke of Edinburgh. He welcomed the Deputy President Shipaksa Mashatil from the South American government. He paid a courtesy call on the Duke at St. James Palace in London in the United Kingdom. He's there working on a visit aimed at improving trade relations between South Africa and the United Kingdom. I think that's very nice. Moving on. Let's move on to Princess Anne. You guys know how much I love her. She visited a Gurkha regiment at some barracks in Innsworth. Now, this was very interesting. She is the Colonel-in-Chief of the Royal Logistics Corps, which is the branch of the British Army that supports the activities of the UK military around the world. She was shown around the area as is, usual for when she goes to some of these military bases. She met multiple members of the Gurkha Allied Rapid Reaction Corps, which is ARRC Support Battalion. She inspected the Honor Guard, and these are the members of the regiment who perform ceremonial duties. And she received, when she arrived, the traditional flower garland from the Nepali soldiers. Of course, this fabulous picture came out of her cutting a celebratory cake. And at one point, Princess Anne met with the chef from the regiment who presented her a bust made from icing sugar. And he also carved a portrait of Princess Anne from a watermelon. This guy is extremely talented. Of course, you guys, I'm going to go on and on about this trip, but the truth of the matter is, I just love her. Now, everybody was talking about the fact that she was wearing her beloved green tweed suit. That is an outfit they're saying that has become a firm favorite for the Princess Royal, which I believe is absolutely true. I've seen her in this outfit multiple times, and she looked very elegant. She wore this same suit, by the way, in Scotland on a visit with Queen Camilla, who at the time was the Duchess of Cornwall. You go, Anne. All right, now talking about Camilla, her son, who recently wrote a book, let's not forget. It's called Cooking and the Crown, and in it, he talks about Camilla's reputation for chain smoking and excessive drinking. He said that those rumors are completely inaccurate, and if anyone ever meets my mother, they're always, saying, this is someone I would love to go have dinner with. And he said, and I just find this interesting, she has that reputation of drinking gin and smoking, but she's never had a glass of gin in her life. She doesn't smoke. And that the rumors likely came from her portrayal in the Channel 4 sitcom, The Windsors. Well, there you go. You can't believe everything you see on television, people. He did say, by the way, he watched that show and the person who played Camilla was, and I'm quoting, brilliant. But he says, my mother hardly drinks. Never seen her so much as tipsy. Moving on. All right, next up, according to one of the royal commentators, King Charles is supposed to be having some testing in a few weeks right before his big trip to Australia. And the reason that they're testing him is to see where the cancer is and the treatment and how it's coming along. And, you just want to make sure that what you're doing is working. Obviously, I'm hoping the best for him. I'm hoping for nothing but the best. And you guys know what I'm saying. Good for him. All right. I'm glad he's doing his tour. Let's move on. Let's move on now. There is a statue of Prince Philip. It was 13 feet tall. It cost 150,000 pounds. And it was described as some of the poorest quality work. And it had to be removed from the city center after a bid to save it was rejected. It was made of bronze. Prince Philip was the vice chancellor there. So this was erected in 2014, and the Cambridge City Council issued an enforcement notice and said it had to be taken down because it was installed without planning permission in March. 10 years after it was put up. Are you kidding? So the property firm appealed against the enforcement notice to save the statue and keep it where it is. But the planning inspector has now ruled that it has to be upheld and it has to be removed. And so it was removed. The stand it was on was left because it was below ground and they just covered it with dirt and seed. Ugh. Next up, Prince William, according to the court circular, who we also know as the Duke of Cornwall, on the 30th, had a meeting of the Prince's Council at Windsor Castle. Next up, this is exciting news. William and Catherine, the Princess of Wales, have applied for a U.S. trademark. The trademark they've applied for is for their Royal Foundation. And so it looks like they're going to launch the Royal Foundation in the United States. And the application to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office, according to the article, they've got items listed like clothing, footwear, headgear, printed race numbers, things that hint at charity events that could be related to mental health. One of the things that the article says, which I found very interesting, is don't start trying to set up this rivalry between William and Catherine and Harry and Meghan because the couples have enough trouble as it is. But I got to tell you, that's what it looks like to me. Let me just remind you guys that William and Catherine, along with Harry, let's give, credit where credit's due. The three of them with the Royal Foundation started Heads Together. William and Catherine have always championed mental health. It was William that got Harry into therapy. Initially, I know Harry's claiming it was all Meghan, but the truth is William did it first. And Harry and Meghan just threw everything at the wall, and their mental health thing is just what stuck. And even though people are saying don't do the rivalry, let me tell you, Meghan Markle absolutely is doing the rivalry. She's saying, or it's being implied that she's like, this is our turf. We're in the United States. You're in the UK. This is our area for mental health. Charitable fundraising, educational activities, and healthcare services relating to mental health are all listed. I guarantee you it was signed and the correct amount was sent in with it in the first place. It'll be interesting to see what happens. We'll keep an eye. All right, guys, you know what to do. Hit the like and the subscribe button and the bell for all notifications, although you won't get any. Go down into the description box and you'll find the links to my Twitter, my Gettr, my Rumble, my email, my Patreon, which is currently paused, my Amazon wishlist, and a physical address in case there's something you want to send. And for those of you who've donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.